Since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of Lonely Street at Heartbreak Hotel. And I'm so lonely, baby. I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely, I could cry. Yes, I'm so lonely, baby. I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely, I could die. Well, how you doing, everybody? Just feeling a little Elvis today, I guess. Maybe someday I'll do the full song. Who knows? I don't want to waste your time. There's some exciting things I want to talk about. There are things afoot in the Lost Peaksverse. Let me tell you right now. People have been talking to me about different parts of the projects, adding nuance and exciting stuff. There are a lot of friends out there of mine that I talk with, and we foment ideas about how we can promote each other and get the word out about each of our projects, because we have a lot of great things that are coming down the pipeline. I'm gonna tell you right now, and it's a lot more than just what the pros are doing, which I'm really happy about. Mitch Breitweiser and his wife Elizabeth are doing a fabulous thing in the Red Rooster. And I am put my money back behind it. I really think other people should do it, and they should give them the success that they deserve. I tell you, because what's happened to them within the industry and how they've been maligned and demonized by certain people. I think that they deserve a little bit of good luck to come their way. So please, if you're listening to this, go out, hit that Indiegogo and give them the support and get a book from them, because I really think what they're doing is great. But what I'm doing is equally as great. And in my opinion, it's greater. I am making something that is beyond anything that you have ever dreamed of. Well, maybe, I don't know. If you got a rich imagination, who knows what you've dreamed of. But I think my imagination brings things out of me that I'm even astounded at sometimes. I look at it and go, holy cow, I came up with that, And again, I'm influenced by giants that I stand upon the shoulders of, that have come before. Ideas that, influence me and cause me to think about stuff and say, well, what about this? And how would this be if I twisted it or morphed it in this manner? And I think that I get original ideas from things that other people do. Like anybody else. You see something you love and you say, man, what if I did this? And what if this was like that and that was like this, and I took that from here and that from here, and then stirred it up in a pot and molded it into something, and then, served it out on a plate and see if people like what I served up, like some sort of, literary chef to mix a bunch of metaphors. So I'm hoping that people see Sugarlight Speed, and you're seeing some of the pictures. I think I've done a better thing here where I've zoomed in the pictures so you can kind of see them better. And again, some of this stuff is quite risque. A lot of panty peeks there. I'm sorry. It's my anime influence, I guess. And, I'm a bit of a perv sometimes. I'm not way over the line, but there you go. I'm a guy. We like the ladies if we're straight, and I am definitely straight, babies. All right. There's stuff, like I said, that's coming down, and I've been talking to people, and man, it gets me so excited. I want to share it with you, but it's not quite ready to announce. But I have told you about the proposed time period that we're going to do this fundraiser on, hopefully Indiegogo. I think Indiegogo is where I want to do it. It better be in the fall, and no later, I think, than Halloween. But Halloween might be a good place to start the Lost Peaksverse, or whatever I want to call it at that point. I also I'm putting money out there of my own right now, because I think you got to spend money, to make something great. You got to take a risk, and it's sometimes it's a little hurt. You got to cinch your belt up and bite the bullet, and sometimes you're just like, I can't get this and I can't get that, because I want that, but I can't. And so, but I put a little bit aside for things like Mitch Brettweiser's stuff, just a little bit, but I can't go crazy. I'm just like any other geek. I like what I like, and I go out there and I buy the stuff that I like. I'm a grown-ass adult, but I'm still a kid at heart. I think most people who are geeks they're a kid at heart. But if they grow up, they take responsibility for who they are and what they're going to do in life, and they don't blame anybody else. And they don't say, it's somebody else's fault that life is like this for me. No, at one point, you have to take responsibility for yourself. Nobody can control the situations they were born into, or the body that they were born into, or the culture they were born into. But at one point in their life, if they haven't said, it's on me, everything that happens to me is on me, and even if the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune just knock the living shit out of you, it's on you about how you react to it and how you make, lemonades out of lemon. That's my perspective on life. I've made my mistakes. Heck, I think everybody makes mistakes, and I've made doozies. I really have. But I think my life is still a great thing. I think I'm doing okay. And I live in the greatest country in the world. I don't want to, I'm American, so I got to toot the horn. I think we're a great country. And a lot of people don't think our country is great anymore. They have problems with it. And they want to tear down some things that they think there's problems with. And, they got to do what they got to do. But I think they're freaking crazy. In fact, if you live in this country, you are so blessed compared to so many places on earth. And there's going to be people say, well, the reason you're blessed is because you've taken this and you blah, 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 and you're a colonizer and you're imperialist and all this other stuff. And I'm like, whatever. I welcome immigrants here if they come through the door. I think new blood is a great thing, but I'm not going to try to excuse my life and my blessings and the blessings of my family and friends and my country because somebody else doesn't like, or they feel that, we've been mercenary in our way that we've done things. America's not perfect. It's pretty obvious from our history. But I don't think any country is perfect if you look at the histories. And to ignore that fact and to change history and morph it around and, revisionist stuff, I don't go down with that. I'm not down with that at all. I think I've got off topic here. But all of this stuff I talk about does influence my writing. Of course it does. It's who I am. And so when you pick up a copy of Little Girl Lethal and any other thing that comes out of it that's in the Lost Peaks universe, it's going to have some of my philosophy in it. I can't, deny that. But it's going to be fun. I'm not going to be slapping you around with, that. But there's going to be Americana in the subtext. But even though the nation they live in is quite different. In fact, it's more imperialistic in many ways than the country we live in. But the entire world is imperialistic because it's dominated by 5 great empires. And, each empire has its own culture and its own way of looking at things. And it's not just going to be based completely off of the cultures we have. Like Africanus, the Sultanate of Africanus, where that world's Islam is based, will have many different things going on the African continent and how they approach things and how some parts are more moderate and more liberated, I guess, and some that are more traditionalist and conservative and even oppressive, depending on where it was. And there'll be factions within each one of these empires that are vying for power. That's how most nations are, if you look at the internal structure of them. And I think those are interesting things if you want to break them down. Again, I'm not going to get into the minutia within the comic. I think, nobody wants that. They just want a good narrative and then some texture and some nuance to flavor it, So when you're reading something, you feel like you're inhabiting the universe that you're in. But you don't have to do a deep dive, into all the stuff that wouldn't just bore the living shit out of you. And, But for me, I'm going to have it there because, like I've said before, kind of like Tolking, I have a lot of stuff in my head and things I've written down that may not make it on to the page that I give to people, because that's for me to kind of know where I'm going and what it is. Because, I see the world in my head. I see the world like Niggle's leaf, in detail. And every time I look somewhere, I see this thing just forming, and just another piece, another part that adds just so much more to what I don't know if I could ever relate it all. And that goes to my point of why we live here. We're here to progress. On this planet. Some people say there's no God, and I'm like, well, then what's the point? Do whatever you want. And if that's the case, hopefully whatever you're doing in your hedonism or your headstrongness, you're not hurting people, because I think that's one of the things we're supposed to learn. We're supposed to find truth, and we're supposed to embrace it, and then try to discard the stuff that isn't truth. I'm not going to get into too much religion because, that's a private thing for me. It's just philosophy if I'm throwing it out there. And I don't expect anybody to be following anything I say, because if you were to do that, you would be a complete idiot. I just want to make something that is memorable, that may outlast me, that may go on in time, and somebody picks up a book 100 years ago, 100 years from now, and said, "What's this?" And wow, this is really something. That's what I would love. This will, like my headstone is the book that I make, or the books, or whatever I leave behind, because, besides having children and having that progeny, there's nothing more. I'm going to have to leave you now. Have a great day. Hope I haven't worn out my welcome. Bye-bye.